Market vitals, triaging. Today, HFR, the big hitter. He's the llama. I've been swinging a hockey stick, Matt, as my winter training for golf. And my club head speed is going to be noticeably faster this year. I can guarantee it.
It wouldn't help me because I'm a lefty. And when it comes
to swing it righty, I shoot a hockey stick lefty myself.
Yeah, so
how's you can still grab the stick and swing it like a fucking golf club.
I guess.
Yeah, long. There's got the wind resistance from the blade of the stick. Hard to swing it, you know. Oh, he must have said something. What'd Powell say?
I don't know.
He just had a rip to 40 and a break to 26.
Again, you want to trade this? Go for it.
Powell, syllables moving markets now. Syllabus. What's the syllabus?
I had offers in, but I didn't get to where I was offering. So
total consciousness is what we're looking for here. Total consciousness, which is nice. Matt, we have shared pretty much since we started this cast that the biggest problem is trust. And what do you believe? And who can you believe? And if the supposed experts, if they're so expert, first of all, I always thought this. If somebody's selling a trading program, it can't be any good. Because if it was great, you'd just fucking print money with your trading program. Why would you sell it? Makes no sense. It also seems to me that an expert is,
or you do it, or you would do it Bernie Madoff did.
Never trade.
Never trade and never share.
You know what was great about that too, and I actually thought about that because I just saw this stat that 51% of Canadians think that the trucker convoy was a dangerous, real overthrow attempt of the government. And so those 51%, I'm sure, have only seen the, CBC, Canadian Broadcasting Corporation's version of what happened there. Because if you watched any of the other footage live or followed any of the other Twitter streams, I mean, truckers are not, they're not the people that they painted them to be. Anyway, but 51% of people believe because they trust what they see, right? They trust the experts at the CBC telling them how dangerous this was to the state of Canada. Let me share because the trust is the problem. And the supposed experts, because this Mary Daly, she's a Fed governor and she's an expert. And you go through some of this, it's mind-boggling, right? Back in June 26th of 2019, we may have to do more to drive inflation above 2%. Like they wanted more inflation. And then starting in, throughout 2021, inflation could breach 3% briefly, but expect that to unwind. We don't look for further inflation. Runaway inflation risk is not imminent. She's the expert. And you expect me just to keep believing the experts. I'm sorry. There was a saying on the floor, Matt. It said, don't piss down my back and tell me it's raining. And there's a lot of piss flying right now. One thing that they cannot, one thing, expert or not, one thing you cannot deny, and that is this that you shared in the network. Hold on a second. Let me bring it up. There's just no denying this breaking news. Hold on. And there it is. Annualized interest on national debt in billions of dollars. It's getting, we used to say RAF, right? Not Royal Air Force, right? This is getting real. When this, and I talked about Japan in particular yesterday, being able just to kick the can down the road for 40 years, right? Not even a problem, but they did it in a different environment that we're facing right now. They did it in a deflationary or no inflation, continually lower interest rates on a trajectory to negative interest rate environment. and it took 40 years to do that. This is not the same setup.
Mhm.
So I'm not, I don't know. I'm ranting a little bit here, but it's like, you can trust whoever you want to trust, but the real data is the real data. And that goes for inflation, it goes for jabs, it goes for whatever you want to look at. And everything that they told you, when it's, who do you believe? Where do you go for truth? I don't know. I mean, he must be saying something dovish here. Everything's fine. Back to Kevin Bacon in Animal House. All is well. Everything's fine. Don't worry. But I got a problem with my trust of the narrative. And I actually have a giant problem with their ability to unwind that particular chart right there. What do you think?
A couple things. So that's the minimum interest payment on the federal credit card of 31 trillion is 853 billion, right? Just shy of a trillion. So now you're talking Tesla money. When you're approaching a trillion. Well, no, they're only 300, 400 billion today, but they used to be a few trillion. Apple's 2.5 trillion, just to give you a size of the debt payment here. But you look at the chart, the thing, and again, this is where I come up with, they will never do anything except keep this going higher, right? That's all they can do. And we're at this is the furthest it's been away from like this moving average ever. So we're 20% above the moving average on a daily chart and just going to the moon. Look at all, like if you're a Tom DeMark guy, you're like, oh, there's a composite 13, there's a S13, there's another composite 13. All those 13s are supposedly tops. It never comes down.
Oh my God.
So until the next king is crowned, I mean, this is the game. The flight just keeps going. They just keep taking it higher and higher. And as far as GDP, I thought this was interesting. If nobody's again talking about it, but this peaked in April of 20, right after COVID was announced. We went all the way up to 134% of public, of the GDP now is the debt. So we owe more than the GDP of this country. Never a good situation. Like that's basically Best Buy. And speaking of Best Buy, what is wrong with people? Yesterday this thing got going again. They get it going again. They get all excited. Woo, Best Buy! And why is it always the dumb
Best Buy or
retail?
Bed Bath and Beyond? Which one?
Bed Bath and Beyond.
Bingo.
But this is what it did yesterday.
Best Buy.
Whatever. Best Buy is going to do the same thing eventually too. But I mean, yesterday it was going all crazy, and then what did they announce? More debt, more stock coming to market crush. I mean, how many times do these people got to get crushed? It was a great sell again yesterday. Thank you very little. All you retail, AMC, Best, Bed Bath and Beyond weirdos. That's all I got to say. Stop. Just let this thing go to zero. It's on its way to zero.
Apparently not.
Well, apparently not, because AMC should have been zero by now, but COVID saved it. But nobody goes to the movies, period.
Man, I saw a great movie yesterday, Vengeance on Prime. It might have even been Prime Studios. Very good movie.
Why don't you give us a little?
No, I don't want to spoil anything. It's about a blogger, what we do here. What we do, are a broadcaster, a writer, a proponent of truth, a proponent of the human experience via trading. No, he's not actually a trader. Traitor. He's a traitor. No, that comes tonight. Anyway, the trader in chief speaking tonight. Matt, let's talk about that a little bit. The nobody gives a shit speech by the nobody gives a shit president with bring it up his followers on Twitter. Let's go to the Twitter sphere as a mosaic of influence. And I think it's pretty clear, the mosaic of influence by his followers. I'd like to see how like his tweet reaches and things like that.
Well, here's what your liberal friends will say. Nobody's on Twitter. Well, okay. President Biden has 29 million followers. And let's see, who do we have next? Let's go with former POTUS.
El Trumpetente,
45.
a great Mexican president.
It was now back. He's back on Twitter, but he still hasn't tweeted.
He has not tweeted. Correct.
What's he gonna?
He's gonna wait till like
Max
impact. He'll wait for 3 months.
On that?
3 months before the election. He doesn't tweet until July of 24. That's my
Really? That's your guess?
That's my guess.
What's his handle? I don't even know.
POTUS 45. I don't know.
No, that we already did that.
Real Donald Trump.
That's what I was trying to do. See, it doesn't even let you search it easily. Look at that. They're still filtering it. Even with the filter, though, he's got 87 million. So nobody's on Twitter, but there's 87 million following Trump and 27 million for the guy who's supposedly got the most votes ever. Right? Okay, that something doesn't jive there. I'm just saying something doesn't jive. And then the new CEO of Twitter has, in the popularity contest on the platform of which nobody's on, 128 million. So Musk has 100 million more than our president.
So you got 5 times the reach, the influence.
5x the reach. Trump has 3x the reach, and he has, almost 50% more than Trump. So you tell me who's watching the State of the Disunion tonight.
Well, I think Elon should be doing a State of the E-Union. That's what I think. Anyway, man, let's talk some prices here. Why don't you bring up the SPOOs, because they are really rallying them here.
Well, we already talked about the
where do you want to sell them? Because I have to sit on my hands.
41.70 all day.
40. Well, you're at 66 now. You better start teeing them up.
My order's in. Go for it.
41.70. You're saying?
Yeah.
41.70. Matt, you know what?
Never short a dull market until it goes up. Then you short it.
I got to tell you something. I can't wait that long.
Well, then sell. Here we are. And again, here we are. 41.66. You want to look at a shorter term chart of the SPOOs? I can bring that up for you. I can definitely do that, Bob. Definitely. Again, why wouldn't we go up? There's no news. Powell said something. He confirmed what he said last week. Okay, so we're going to do that every week to get a little 1% bump. And still no new prices.
We got the record. There's only one record in the house, and it's the only record that you get to put on.
Well, and it's kind of here, like, again, we got trend lines. So all the trend line guys, we're breaking out.
Powell said, I am Kevin Bacon. Everything is fine. Everything is fine. Don't pay no attention to that debt payment behind the curtain that we can't afford to pay.
Yeah, nobody cares. Nobody's
all right
for a long time.
You didn't get your 70s.
No, doesn't look like it. Not yet, but you can see it's just coming right. I rebooted the internet. I rebooted everything. So apparently nobody wants me to be working today. So can we hurry this up?
Yeah, I don't really have a lot more to say, tell you the truth. Let me share one other thing.
No, I do want to talk a little bit about oil, because oil yesterday, again.
Yes, please do. Bring up some real price discovery. I talked about this with somebody. It's like we like.
Well, no, you can see it's the top of the profile here, 41.70.
Right.
So that's
bingo.
What
is that? A 4-day look? 41.70?
Well, no, that was like a 2-week look.
2-week look. All right.
Yeah.
So let me just say something here.
Please.
2 weeks, you've been going to the corner to buy your bag of weed, right? And what was the low of that profile?
That one, I got to go back to it, and it never.
Give me a guess. Let's just say it was
probably 4,100.
4,100 to 41.7. You've been going, and a bag of weed has cost you 41 even to 41.70 for 2 weeks. Differing prices every time you go to the corner, right? And when you go to the corner and it's 41.70, you're like, you know what? I was here yesterday. It was 41 even. I think I'm not going to smoke today. I'm going to do something else. I'm going to do what Gavin Newsom says.
There's the 70. You just had to be patient. There's the 70.
And just drink more. I thought that was interesting out of Gavin Newsom, that sobriety is the biggest harm to public health that he's ever seen. I thought it was a ballsy tack that he took there, by the way.
That's what he said.
That's what he said. Yeah. Clean and sober is the worst thing that could happen to America.
Well, somehow they must get federal money, I guess, for people.
Well, he's a wine state, right? They're selling wine. So I actually kind of.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to my point on the profile. Like they just ran them up to the highest price that we've paid in 2 weeks for a bag of weed on the corner. Like, why are you like you got to be a real fiend if you got to buy the 4170s, right?
Yeah. Right.
You got to be like, I have to get high, so I have to buy the 4170s.
Right.
Or you can just sit on your hands and say, you know what, I'm going to come back tomorrow and see if there's. And if you come back tomorrow, guess what? And it's 4190. Now you're like, you know what? Something's changed here. I should probably buy it now because we're outside of that 2 week range. I mean, I like to simplify it. Like simple is easier.
Mm-hmm.
And for the simple minds watching that buy bags of weed or used to, that's kind of how you got to look at it. Like, you know what? This is the high of the profile for the last 2 weeks. Why am I going to, all of a sudden I'm ultra bullish here? You should have been ultra bullish down at 4,100 where it was the low end of the profile for the last 2 weeks. You missed it.
Well, no, 4,100 just the last couple of days. They couldn't break it. So that, they couldn't even get close to it. They got 4,105 and today was like 4,106. So again, this is a good example of now's not the time to short. Now might be a time to short at 4,170 because we're not, to your point, we're not making new highs. He reiterated the same shit that he did a week ago when the Fed announced. So why do we have to, like, there's nothing new here. I mean, why were we down at next? Guess what? Next time we go through 4,100, we go to 4060. So, there's why not short it up here at 4,170 with the stop at 4225 on a Friday close?
Or just buy the options, which I just did. I just bought some puts. Anyway, I'll bring up the oil chart.
Which puts did you buy?
I actually, Matt, just bought the 41 evens for Friday's close.
Just, give people what you're thinking.
Yeah, Friday's close, 41 evens, so they're short dated. And they were 10 ticks. They're 9 ticks right now. So you're risking $50 on a micro. And it doesn't, by the way, it doesn't have to go below 4,100 for me to make money on this, right? If we just retrace them back to, I don't know, 4,130, those probably be worth 20 or 30. So you'll 2 or 3x the position. Again, I think for me, I sometimes think differently when I trade options, right? I'm looking to double or triple what I paid for them versus some sort of specific, I don't know. I think about them a little bit differently.
Well, I get that.
And it doesn't have to go to my strike. It doesn't have to get below 4,100. It's got value. It's still got time and all the other things that make an option valuable. It's out of the money. It doesn't have to go in the money for me to make money. I mean, it was trading at 26 this morning when it was down. So it just retraces and you've limited your risk. And you're I don't know. It's just a little bit different way to skin the cat. Lots of ways to skin the cat. Apparently, cat skinning is not kosher anymore either. I can't say that. All the cat lovers are just like, cancel him.
Cat turd is beside himself right now.
Matt,
you know what I like here, Bob? You know what I like? I like actually buying like the NASDAQ 100 puts. You can buy the 12,775s now on this spike. And you can sell the 12,250s.
Right on.
Right? And you're going to risk 18 grand on each contract. And you're going to make 34 grand if we trade to, anywhere 12,250 or lower. And that's by March 10th. I like that trade.
a lot more time than this Friday.
Yes, because I don't see anything happening.
Well, this market has been pathetically sideways, for sure. Bring up the oil chart. You talked about oil. Let's look at oil because it is getting a little bit of a bump. And while you do that, before you do that, let me share this little tidboodly. Hold on a second. I gotta find it first. I'm gonna kick you out, obviously.
So okay.
For a second, because I wanted to that's not where it was. Come on, Heifer, get with the fucking program. I thought this was interesting on your oil, and there was a long iteration of that. I can't find it. Son of a bitch. Matt, you saw the former Prime Minister of Israel saying that the U.S. scuttled an arrived to peace agreement between Ukraine and Russia back in March of last year. I just want to bring that up as a backdrop to why, wow. And it's the former Prime Minister of Israel. This isn't like you drunk at the corner of the bar talking about it. I mean, it seems like it's relative. Again, back to trust, the thing we talk about every day. Like the trust equation is so broken, and it continues to stay that way when you read headlines like this. It's just brutal. I bring up oil because that is the backdrop. Like minus Ukraine, Russia, oil's probably $40 item. Did I lose you?
No, I'm just listening to you. Did you?
Yeah,
were you asking me what?
Yeah, bring up oil. Bring it up because.
Oh, well, now you want me to bring it up. You
yeah,
told
I
me to
can't
stop.
find the fucking tweet. I apologize.
I'm just trying to be nice here.
I apologize. Apologize. Ooh, big fat value range have penetrated.
Yeah, well, let's start with the weekly chart. And we went from 82 down to 72. So we had a $10 sell-off. So we're right 50% back, right? So, this market, again, this is where we were. Like I thought, maybe we had bottomed here at 78. Now they crumbled them over the weekend. This was the close Friday. So now we're getting back to that close. That close was pretty powerful, I thought. And, and then this sell-off was weird. It was just somebody had to get out. And so somebody hammered it, but they couldn't take it below 72 again. And really those levels don't mean a heck of a lot on the charts. And I'll bring up a longer term charts just to show that. But again, 60 is kind of the line in the sand. So 72, okay. Nothing really new there, but I think a $10 sell-off warranted a good buy opportunity. And again, I did buy some yesterday and I've already taken them off. But that's a huge move. It's gone from 72.20 all the way up to 77.20, so $5. So again, don't be a pig. That's a huge bounce, and especially since we're halfway back to the retracement zone from 82 to 72, I'm just taking the conservative route and saying, okay, I'll wait. Now, if it continues to go up without me, which is fine, I'll buy a pullback, right? That's kind of the way I would look at something like this. And the SPOOs have already come off 10, by the way, if you're paying attention there at home. 70 to 59 here. I bought a little bit as we speak. So 70 seems to be a good rejection level there. And again, good time to buy some put spreads if you're bearish on this market like I am. Again, I think the CPI next week has the potential to be higher than people expected, and everybody's expecting lower because that's been the narratives, right? So we got the State of the Disunion that goes on tonight. Everybody's all pumped up and everybody claps. Nothing is said. It's a political speech, and we're done. Then we go back to the real world tomorrow. We got 3 days left in the week, and then we got Monday, Tuesday, St. Valentine's Massacre next Tuesday, the CPI a week from today. So again, but on this bigger term chart, we're getting right to the bottom also, as you mentioned, of the profile. So this is kind of a 1 month look. If we get back into her, there's no reason we can't go back to, again, this $5 move here is duplicated by another $5 move up to the highs. And I think that kind of needs to happen until obviously it has to happen until we go to the next level. But I think once that 82 level goes, you're looking at probably 92, Bob. So that's kind of how I see this market playing out. 72 has been a low for a while, as 82 has been. So we've been in a bracket. And again, I want to point this out. This is going back to I mean, this is mid-November, so 4 or 5 months where oil really hasn't gone anywhere. 72 to 82, 72 to 82, right? So big bracket forming here, which is powerful when it does break one way or the other. And when that happens, I think there's a good opportunity here for for upside to be tested, possibly 120, 130, 150, 200, 250, etc.
Bingo. All right.
And by the way, natural gas, since we've talked about, made another new low I think yesterday, days ago, 235, 234. And today had a big rally again, back up here, 252. Let me just bring that up just to see kind of what the complex of the structure looks like. It's 254, up at 3.5% today. Let's take a look at that, if you don't mind, if I can get an active quote on it. But we're trading 253. And again, this has been as low as 234. I apologize for just the horrible lag here.
Dude, you're like in a bunker.
Yeah,
with static.
Yeah, but you can see the 253 is trading. And again, I would be looking to see if this can kind of take out that 260 level. I looked at it this morning. I can't show you right now. It's just not coming up. So if you want to show it, if you can bring up a chart, just as soon as I give up the ghost, it decides. But that low that we put in on Friday looks pretty solid right now, that 234. But again, the next level for me is, can you take out last week's highs, right? And last week's highs might be right here around 260. And again, I'm not showing you the rest of it, but it likely is, because that was a spike from a lower price here to 260. And then we made that new low. And now if we can take out that high, Bob, I would say, we're looking to possibly go a little, probably test $3 at least. You'll just have to, again, take me from the guy at the corner of the bar. Word.
You got the corner of the bar shirt on right now.
Yeah.
In fact, we could both sit at the bar right now. With me with the big hitter, you with the corner of the bar.
Here it is. Here's last week's high. Yeah, 260. So we're right at last week's high. And
again, if you caught this bounce, like, you got to be taking profit.
Right. And if you were lucky enough to buy it down here in the 230s, take some money off. That's a 20-cent move, which is, again, 7-8%, really fast. And this was, I guess, technically from here, last week's high, 278. So again, this is starting maybe to stop the chutes and ladders, the shoot part of the game, because this has just been going down for a long time now. And it probably needs to have a vicious bounce to, get retail's faces ripped off. That's the way it ends usually. Retail finally just decides to commit to the short here, because retail just doesn't like to short, which is interesting to me. It's probably one of the easier trades to make, but they like to sell bottoms and they like to buy tops. That's what they like to do. So this looks like a retail area where they're getting short and they're going to take their faces off.
Take their faces off. I love it. All right, man, I got to share something here. Hold on a second here. We're going to go into the Manja kitchen, and I got to share. You're familiar with meat tenderizing, right?
Yeah.
You know what that means. You either hit it with a hammer.
Yeah.
Right. Soften it up. We're going to the Manja TV kitchen here, and man, let me just show you how I do it. I like the chicken piquant, Matt. And you got to flatten out either the breast. I like doing the piquant with the thigh, right? Mm-hmm. But you put it in a bag, and if you could hear the audio on this, it's smack, 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 smack. You just beat it. You don't need a hammer. If you got a nice big fist,
meaty paw like you do, yeah.
Meaty paw, I'm telling you, it's simple. It's simple. That's the way you do it. Yeah. That's the way you do it. And man, I did not lie. I just got a new pound of Shrimp Mojo in the mail. So go to Amazon.com and get yourself a pound of Shrimp Mojo for your Super Bowl party. We got a lot of parties coming up, Matt. This is actually, if you're talking parties, This is actually a better time of the year, I think, party wise.
Yeah. Why?
And because you got the Super Bowl, right? And then you lead right into St. Patty's Day. And then you got March
Madness.
Madness.
It's the St. Patty's March Madness combo.
Exactly.
Which is really one of the best parties of the year.
And then you got the Derby, you got you got the Masters, there's so many time available.
You got opening day for baseball.
Opening for tailgate.
Hey, don't forget that. Hey, Bob, don't forget this weekend the Phoenix Open is joined with the Super Bowl. How many DUIs are happening in Phoenix this weekend,
dude?
What's the over under?
If you're an Uber driver, you got to be heading to Phoenix right now. In fact, I'm sure Uber has put it out to all their drivers in the Southwest.
Just bought some at 41.53. Take 17 points off, sir.
Bingo. I love it. That's what we got.
That's Amazon. How you trade it. That's how you trade repetitive news.
Yeah, like what else was he going to say? By the way, my bunions are better. Like the corns on my feet are healing nicely. Okay. My golf swing is improving incrementally, just like inflation. I mean, I should be the writer of the bullshit that these guys say. Let me write it. At least I could add some sarcasm and humor to these fucking droning idiots. But I digress. Big hitter, the llama. Big hitter. Total consciousness available in you and your trading if you join us at marketvitals.io. Let's work on taglines, Matt. Let's work on tagline.
Make taglines great again.
Make taglines great again. Believe the experts at your own peril is pretty much the only truth of today. Believe the experts at your own peril. That's what we got. And anything else? Lee, Mark. Mark's not here. Mark's here. Yeah, Lee, Mark. Speaking of bacon, Matt, big reversal. And why don't you pull it up? Because I have my own opinion. Bring up HEM.
You pull it up because yours is going to be much faster than mine. So just pull it up. I have
to change the chart because I have information.
You don't have your French porn passport? Is that what you're saying?
No, did you see the Polish guy?
No.
Like the Polish MP or whatever, the politician. Oh. There's like somebody up behind him in the balcony, and he's got his phone out watching porn during the session. Oh, holy cow!
I'll bring up. I've got a hog chart. This is just continuous 89.
All right, you got to change it to HEM 2023. Please go to June.
Well, this is the front. Isn't that it?
That's not what we want to look at. Thank you. That's Feb, which goes off the board here in a couple of days. Zero volatility in Feb, pinning it to the settlement procedure at the CME.
Yeah.
June, on the other hand, look at that little. I mean, we talked throw unders. That was a massive throw under this morning in June hogs. The intel is that sooner or later the slaughter is going to be reduced greatly. Any demand out of China is going to. This could be more perfectly clear. All right. What I'm telling you is the intel I'm getting is that this chart should become explosive at some point in the future, like the fundamental should. But right now, I still don't believe it. Like you gotta recapture that value range for me to want to get involved. That's all I'm saying for you hog traders out there. Look at them pulling the whole contract, the whole life of the contract. Another thing you can do here in agricultural products that go off the board.
Oh boy, 41.45. They're down 30 already. Oh boy. Whoever chased those, whoever monkey boys chased that.
Oops.
Same guys that chased Best Buy last night. Oh boy.
41.38. Matt, but Powell said.
Hold on. I got to cover a little bit more.
But Powell said. Matt Powell said something.
What did he say?
Yeah, I'm going to make Matt stop share. All right, let me go here. Let me come back here to the map. No, we don't want the map of consciousness, which is good though. All right, last night, cheater ribs. We went St. Louis versus baby back. You can see those two different cuts of ribs. baby back's one hand down. This cheetah ribs here, 250, set the oven 250 for 2 hours. You season up the ribs with the Shrimp Mojo 50/50 brown sugar. Cover these things, bake them for 2 hours. See how these bones are pulled off here? That's how you know the meat is done. Like all the bones are pulled off. The meat's pulled back from the bones, right? They're done. They're fully cooked. Then you take them and hit them on the grill with your favorite barbecue sauce. And then, I mean, in 2 hours, you have the best ribs ever. 2 hours and let's call it 15 minutes because you need about 15 minutes on the grill. I like smoked
15
ribs.
minutes, 15 minutes at high after
Yes, exactly.
hours, slow cook, just with the rub and a little water and vinegar. Is that what you said?
Yeah, that's what I said.
Or beer?
You can use beer if you want. I've done it with beer. I've done it with any kind of liquid you have because
No,
you
but
need,
do
you need this to poach.
Yeah, but do you put it on after the rub?
I actually just put the water and the vinegar at the bottom of the pan.
Okay, so you dry rub them.
Dry
Water's
rub
already
them.
the moisture is on the pan already. Then you set them in the moisture.
Yes.
250.
Cover it, tent it, cover it, foil tent, 250 for 2 hours. Then they're this. First they're this.
And then you toss them on the grill for 15 to 20 tops.
At the tops, right?
With
then,
with the manja
Rob,
barbecue.
and then we got a barbecue
Well,
sauce. It's in beta right now. Beta
okay.
on the market. Beta on the barbecue sauce.
Why don't you bring some over so I can beta tonight? Because I got some ribs. I bought some ribs. I'm going to make them tonight.
Lee, it's coming your way also. Anywho, that's what we did. Fantastic. Just fantastic. And listen, I'm not here to dissuade you from being a smoker. Smoke them if you got them. Like smoked ribs are fine. But if you don't got 4 hours to smoke correctly, right? If you really want, and you could actually do this, if you turn that oven up to 350, those will cook in an hour. Like if you're really pressed for time, an hour in the oven at 350.
Oh,
with
so
those
warmer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. Bada bing.
All
right, bada bingo. That's all we got. Please join us at marketvillas.io. Please share and retweet the broadcast.
And again, Powell gave a good opportunity to sell Tesla. Everything bounced with Powell. So again, the trust factor was there for the short sellers all over it.
I trust, I don't believe anything. Well, my confidence level on almost everything is about 26.5%.
Well, we were just down. I mean, we went from 75 all the way down to 33. So, and we started when this thing started, we were at 22. So it looks like we're going to go right back to where we started. And that was fun. Thanks for playing along.
And you got to see it today live in living color.
It's rare. It's rare because usually this is why we do the show in the middle of the day because there's typically nothing happening. But when you got a Fed speaker, always a good opportunity, especially when he's just spoke 6 days ago and said the exact same thing. Like, what is new there, buddy? Nothing.
All right.
All that tells the Fed guys is talk less. Let the market guess more.
How about it? In fact,
but go back. Like Greenspan was really the guy that started talking more. I think we need to go back early Greenspan when he would only come with surprises. Either way, he was master. He was a master at the game. He really was. Everybody since sucks.
Well, not only that, man. When back to the Fed governor, Mary whatever Daly. What is she? Mary Crowley. Mary.
Mr. Crowley.
I don't know. I can't remember. I can't even remember who I brought.
Well, everything's devil worship, so it's probably.
But everything's been wrong. Every single thing that they said was wrong. So why say anything? Like if everything that you say is wrong,
just stop talking.
Just stop talking.
It's like Kramer. He should just start honking and beeping. Honk and beep. That's it. No talk. Just have his sideshow circus thing. Honk and beep.
Yeah. And gongs. That's it.
Gongs.
Honks, beeps, and gongs. That's the name of our show when we get picked up. Honks, beeps, and gongs. Brought to you by Market Vitals. All right, that's all we got. Thank you.
Thank God.
Peace.
Peace.